Hi, I'm Tiffany Domina. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my website is howtoentrepreneur.org and my mission is to help you grow a business from idea to enterprise. I have a free e-course there that's a basic framework to help you grow your business from idea to enterprise. And if you're looking to start a business or to grow a business, then you should definitely stop by and check out my free e-course. So today I want to talk to you about how to overcome the fear of failure. So the fear of failure is a common fear that many entrepreneurs or just people in general deal with because it's a part of going from one stage to another, and it's a part of growth, and it just comes with so many different challenges when you're trying to grow. So if you're wondering how to overcome the fear of failure, you're in the right place. This video will give you actionable steps to overcome the fear of failing. So here's the scenario I want to start with. You're about to try something bigger than you've ever done before. You've sold one-on-one before. You've sold door-to-door, over the phone, and through email. You've had doors slammed and been offered gifts, so you know the gamut of responses to selling your products and services. This time is different though. This time, you'll be giving a sales pitch before thousands of people and proclaiming the amount you want to raise on the stage. The idea of putting yourself out there makes you sweaty all over. You're thinking, what if people get upset and leave? What if the crowd gets angry or offended? What if you don't meet the amount you want to raise tonight? Wouldn't that be embarrassing? So all of these thoughts are going through your head, and the fear of failure is a norm. Every person I know has some fear of failing. As bold, brave, and heroic as someone may seem, they still feel that nervousness and anxiety when they set a goal they've presupposed is a big goal. So the sweaty palms, not in the throat, or mind roaming with questions like can I or what if, that's all normal. Some people respond differently to the triggers that result from the fear of failure, and their response separates them from others. Some people don't think of fear of failure as a red flag, meaning stop. Some think of it as a trigger signaling a growth opportunity, and there's a huge difference between the two. We've all heard the statistic that 80% of small businesses fail, and I've given 10 reasons why in a previous article that I wrote. The horrific statistics alone have changed many people's minds about even giving entrepreneurship a chance. They assume that if 80% of people could not succeed in business, why would they be any different? Their assessment is valid. 80% is high, and the majority do fail. Others look at the 80% statistic and say they fail, but why can't I be part of the 20% that don't? And there's a drastic difference in those two perspectives. There's traits of those who overcome the fear of failure, and there are contributing factors that separate those who strive to be the 20%. The same contributing factors make those who make big goals, the kind that make them sweat, decide to persevere and take action. And those traits that separate the people who overcome their fears include, number one, self-esteem. In his interview on The Passionate Few, Ed Milet said self-confidence comes from making promises to ourselves and keeping them. Many people have disappointed themselves so many times that they underestimate what they're capable of. I'm thinking that maybe you and I can relate, you know? They may be in a downward spiral of making bad decisions like bad relationships, bad dieting, bad financial decisions, bad parenting, or the list goes on and on. When you tell yourself, I'm going to do this, and you let yourself down, it wreaks havoc on your confidence. It could be something simple like a commitment to no longer drink Kool-Aid. If you commit to yourself that you're not going to drink it, but you let the temptation get heightened enough that you choose to go after it, it affects your confidence. With time, you start to feel that if you can't do one thing, then you can't do other things. And it gets worse from there until you start keeping commitments to yourself. A lot of people find that fitness helps build self-esteem because it requires discipline, short intervals of personal challenge, and enables you to see that you can keep personal commitments. Business can also have the effect of improving confidence. You set a small sales goal, or you set small tasks that you can do. Just write one blog post, just post once on social media, just call one person and let them know about your product or service. And you can set small goals like that, and you build your confidence when you actually follow through. People who have high confidence have a high level of personal integrity with themselves. And I just did a video today on how to build your confidence, 9 steps that work. And you should definitely go and check out that video because I give many more details about how to build your confidence. So the second trait that these people who overcome the fear of failure have is discipline. Added on to being trustworthy within, people who overcome the fear of failure have discipline. They learn to push past their willpower to reach goals. There are times when you have to do things you don't want to do. For example, you may want to eat an elaborate meal, but you don't want to cook or wash the dishes. In order to be successful in many things in life, you have to push past your willpower to get to the goal. The best basketball players have to practice even when they don't want to. The best media icons have to practice even when they don't want to. The best of the best know how to transcend their will and put it into subjection to their goals. And that discipline is really, really important. Okay, the third trait is commitment. You can't push past your willpower without a commitment. A business plan without a commitment is simply a nice looking piece of paper. Commitment is at the heart of every successful venture. The commitment breeds the self-discipline, it stimulates the work ethic, and it drives the willingness to prepare. A lot of times we'll go through ebbs and flows and different things that we experience in life, and if you don't have that commitment that says, I'm going to push past regardless, and you don't have that personal integrity that holds you to that, then you will give up. So another trait is work ethic. While I don't believe the hardest physical workers are the most successful, I do believe work ethic is key to overcoming the fear of failure. When you have work ethic, you put in the work to build the confidence, to stimulate the positive thinking, to practice, to prepare, and to take action. So those entrepreneurs who out-hustle, outperform, and outthink their competitors win. A willingness to prepare. Going back to our scenario from the beginning, you don't want to stand before thousands of people unprepared. Attention is a valuable resource that many people are fighting and paying top dollar for. When you have the attention of people, you have to honor the fact that you have that opportunity and don't misuse it. Make the time they've given you their attention worthwhile by preparing. Regardless of the scenario, you need to prepare, and prepare again. And positive thinking. When the questions come up, can I or what if, positive thinking enables you to combat those negative spirals with confidence building statements. In response to an internal concern like what if the audience gets upset, you could respond to yourself like, I tell them they're missing out. Napoleon Hill's book Think and Grow Rich or the Bible are great resources for building the positive thinking muscle and giving you mantras you can repeat to yourself when you experience opposition. So there's 4 steps that I want to leave you with on how to overcome the fear of failure. And the 4 steps, the first one is reframe the failure. You can see failing in one situation as a learning lesson or as a building block to future success. For example, every parent knows their baby will have to fall before they walk. When they fall, we all may feel some level of empathy, but we see that as being part of the process. Similarly, Failing at any individual event in life can be seen as a part of the process. If you are new to anything, you have to go through a process of mastery that includes trying, experimenting, studying, and trying again. Failing en route to mastery is almost a necessity, so don't take it personally. Number 2, brainstorm about the obstacles. Sometimes you'll find that the fear will help you to see potential roadblocks. For example, maybe you fear falling on the stage or losing your voice in public speaking, or the list can go on and on. You can be mindful of the potential roadblocks and use them to prepare. In response to the examples of falling or losing your voice, you could prepare by having good shoes or having cough drops. In this way, the fear could stimulate you to being more prepared. Number 3, leverage knowledge and past experiences. So I've used this example before in my previous video earlier today, but and Goliath. And they have, Goliath is an archaeologically verified giant. Archaeology has proven that during that time, there were giants that were more than 10 feet and some as tall as 40 feet. And David was described as a small shepherd boy. So this giant, Goliath, he was a military trained, combative person. He was between 10 and 40 feet, so he was well beyond the normal size of a human. For many of us, he may have been taller than our house, Most of us have ceilings that are 8 feet or smaller, and he was 40 feet, potentially 40 feet tall. So they say he was between 10 and 40 feet. So in that, he could have been taller than most 2-story houses. And David was described as being a shepherd boy. He didn't have a military background. He didn't have military experience. He was used to tending sheep. And sheep are really non-combative animals. They're fairly simple, fairly gentle. And so usually when you see the picture of a sheep, you think of a gentle animal, someone who's not combative. You don't think of someone you have to fight. So it gives you the illustration of a person who's not used to combat and a person who's very used to combat. And despite the differences, David was willing to go in front of his whole military army, the whole army of Israel. They were all trained in military combat. He also went before the army on the other side, Goliath's military. They were trained as well. And he decided, instead of to ask Goliath, let's go in private and try to hash this out, he decided, let's go before both of our militaries and I'm still going to beat you. So he had to have built his confidence, or some way he was able to really, put on this level of confidence that most people wouldn't have. Even today, if you had most ordinary people and asked them to go and fight Osama bin Laden, or asked them to go and fight one of the terrorists of our modern day who aren't even giants, most people would say, no, thank you. But this shepherd, the person who tended sheep, he was able to build enough confidence within himself without having that experience that he went out and fought Goliath. And the scripture says that he said, this was the statement he made that tells you a lot about how he built his confidence to stand in that situation. And it says, I have killed lions and bears, and this uncircumcised Philistine will be like one of them because he has challenged the army of the living God. So basically what he was saying is, I have experiences that I can leverage that help me to build my confidence for this experience. So in that, when the fear of failure presents itself, instead of connecting your mind to events that maybe you failed before or things you've done wrong before, if you can think about what you did right before, what obstacles did you overcome before? You learned how to walk. You learned your alphabet. You learned how to talk. You learned how to do sign language. You learned how to run. You beat somebody in a race. Like, just think about those things that you accomplished and things that you can be proud of. And it might be harder for some of us to go back into our past and to decide on things that we feel really proud of. But if you need to, go and ask somebody who really admires you. Ask a friend, ask a parent, ask a loved one, somebody who knows you, and ask them, what things do you remember me doing well? And everybody has something that they do well and something that they've accomplished. And you do too. And you just have to sit down and think about, what can you leverage? What experiences do you have? And bring those forward and leverage that knowledge and those past experiences to say, if I could do that, I can do this too. So when the fear of failure presents itself, people who decide to press forward usually empower themselves by leveraging the knowledge or experience they have from the past. In David's case, he had killed lions and bears, so he thought Goliath would be no different. For you, you may say, I've done cold calling, I've done cold emailing, I've performed a live presentation, and that would be kind of the same. Whatever your experience is, you can leverage the knowledge and experience to build your confidence for a new milestone. Similarly, if you read a book or a course, you can leverage someone else's knowledge or experience to build your confidence. So even if you don't have the experience, you can say, well, this person was able to do this, so I believe I can do it too. And you leverage someone else's experience. If you look at them and you can see, based on what they did, it inspires you, or you feel the capability to do something comparable, then that's powerful too. I know there's things that I've tried to pursue that I didn't actually know someone within reach that was able to, that did that. Maybe you're the first one in your family to graduate from college or to graduate from high school, and so you don't know anybody directly around you or who's raising you that graduated from high school or graduated from college, but you believe you can do it. So what you can do is take someone else, their experience, even if it's in a book, even if it's an author, if it's someone on YouTube, you leverage their experience and you say, if they can do it, I can do it too. Number 3, you allow failure to build you rather than to tear you down. If each failure is a step towards the full trip, then whether you succeed in this moment or not, you're one step closer to your goal. Sorry, I'm getting all tongue-tied. But whether or not you achieve the goal this time, you're still one step closer. Every success takes practice. When you're practicing, you don't always look like a success. However, practice is a part of the process. And number 4, speak mantras to yourself. You can choose whichever mantra you like, simple or more complex. You have to be able to rehearse and repeat the mantra whenever you catch yourself visualizing failure or having negative thoughts. Here are a few mantras that I personally like. One of them is, this too shall pass. Other people feel this way too and overcame it, so can I. This is only temporary. I am bigger than this fear. I can overcome this. Or something along those same lines. And to say it to you, you could say, this too shall pass. Other people feel this way, so can you. This is only temporary. You are bigger than this fear. You can overcome this. Or something along those lines. So that'll be something that you'll have to just rehearse and rehearse and rehearse so that you can really tear down all of those negative thoughts when they come up, because they come and everyone experiences them. But it's what you do in response to those negative thoughts that really makes a difference. And so it helps to practice taking negative thought spirals captive and correcting them on the spot. You may find that closing your eyes, practicing breathing, or taking a breath can also help to focus on those mantras and may give added relief. So you have to start practicing. Whenever those negative thought spirals come up, address them on the spot, because it's a habit and you have to practice habit change, and habit change takes repetition. So when those negative thought spirals come up that, can I really do this? You have to immediately address it. Why am I questioning myself? And just start to speak those positive mantras. This is going to pass. I'm going to do this. Other people overcame this, and so can I. I'm bigger than this fear. And you just start to regurgitate those positive mantras so that you can really change that negative thought spiral. So some final words on how to overcome the fear of failure. The goal of this video was to show you how to overcome the fear of failure. In entrepreneurship or any path, you are usually not good at the beginning, whether it's being a wife, whether it's being a student, whether it's being a mom, whether it's being an entrepreneur. As long as you're challenging yourself, you'll experience fear. Use that as leverage. When you feel fear, use it as the check engine light to let you know you're challenging yourself. It's healthy. Keep going. If you have questions or concerns about this, leave your questions or concerns in the comment section below. And I also want to hear, how do you deal with the fear of failure? Do you follow the tips written here? Is there anything else that I've left out? Leave your comments below the video in the comment section below, or stop by howtoentrepreneur.org and you can leave your comments down here in the comment section on this post. So I'm appreciative that you took your time and you watched this video. If it was helpful for you, please leave a thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos like this where I talk about growing a business from idea to enterprise, one big step in that I talk about in my roadmap in the free e-course that I've been telling you about, the first step is really self-evaluation. And so the fear of failure, building your confidence, all of those things go into that first step of self-evaluation. So definitely check out the free course, stop by How to Entrepreneur, and let's connect and start building your business from idea to enterprise. That's all I have for this video. Like I said, leave a thumbs up, leave your comments below, and subscribe to this channel. Hit the bell icon if you want to be notified of upcoming videos. And that's all I have for you in this video. Have a great day. Bye.